Hey guys, so we're back with a new project. This is a 1951 Dodge B-Series with a pilot house cab.
Which means it has 5 windows. So it's got the main window in the back and 2 cab corner windows.
We've had this since November, so about 8 months now. We don't know if it starts though. We haven't done anything to it. This is our very first time playing around with it, but it seems like it's in pretty good condition thus far.
The engine, we were able to rotate it by hand, so we know it's not seized. But as far as the truck, like you said, we got it in November. The guy we got it from, we have actually bought multiple vehicles from, and he's nice enough to deliver them to us from the northern part of the state. But for this truck, when it got delivered like right after Thanksgiving, and literally the day he delivered it, it started snowing, and so we have not worked on the truck at all. We've climbed inside of it, looked at it, but other than that, we have not tried to start it. We have not done a single thing to this truck. This is really our first opportunity to really get going and see if we can get it started. So
yeah, according to the guy we bought it from, he says it does not run. But today we're gonna try and start it for the first time.
So we'll take you inside and show you around.
So real quick, the frame has been chopped.
Oh yeah. If you've seen what is it?
Stubby Bob.
Yeah, Stubby Bob from like Roadkill Garage or something like that. It's basically the same setup. I think the previous owner tried to emulate that. So yeah, the frame is very, very short, which we'll show you here in a second.
Yeah, we have no idea what we will do with this truck, but we'll figure something out. It's pretty interesting. So let's get started.
Alright, so right here, that's a manual shift starter. So there's a pedal in the gas cab, or in the cab of the truck, which we'll show you here in a second. When you depress that, it pushes down on that lever, which actuates the starter. We're having an issue getting the starter to do anything at all. I thought the starter was bad for a second. So we sprayed penetrating oil on the lever and just worked it up and down, and eventually we got it worked free to where it actually cranks now. So we'll show you that here real quick. Come here. So right here we have the gas pedal, brake, and right here is that starter actuator. So if you go back to the engine, so that's how you turn that starter. It doesn't have a starter solenoid, The actuator, as far as I understand, it just completes a circuit in the starter, and that's your switch for the starter. So all we have to do is just hook this up to the coil so we can get power to the coil, and see if it fires. It's running a little slow right now, but I think once things start working free, and if we take out the spark plugs, it might.
I think it'll warm up.
Well, I don't think it'll warm up, but
Well,
if we take out the spark plugs, they'll help release that compression and it'll help it turn better. So, and if we do that, it'll work itself loose and hopefully it'll start.
This is a huge difference compared to working on the Pontiac as far as the height goes.
Yeah, the Pontiac is like a very convenient height.
Yeah. And the engine is like, it's really reachable, you know? It's like really convenient.
I can't get over the size difference of these engines.
I
You don't
know.
think it'd be that much of a difference.
Was it crooked?
I don't know. Alright.
I just think those threads are just gunked up. One thing we don't have though is a timing light.
Yeah.
Which I guess we can get by, but
I was staring at one while I was at the checkout aisle and I was like, I should probably get that.
someone's telling that looks oddly familiar.
For some reason it looks important.
Okay.
You want to change the coil or do you just want to
Either way, I mean, it's not like it's super labor intensive to change the coil. Alright, so we have 2 extra spark plugs in case we need them for anything.
Alright, so it's been a few days since we've actually worked on this Dodge. We're just sitting in the cab right now because it was pouring rain and hailing, but it's kind of slowed down a little bit right now. But so we're just sitting in here waiting for it to stop raining. It's been a few days because we had to wait for points to get ordered. These are the old points for the distributor, and I don't know if you can see that, but there's a hole burnt into the center of the contact, and so we obviously were getting spark. So we ordered some new points and a new condenser, and right before it started raining, we threw the points and condenser in, and we still weren't getting spark. We're gonna mess with the timing a little bit to see if that changes anything, but as of right now, that's where we're at. Is we still have no spark.
Yeah. You can also see right here. It's burnt a little bit. So they had a 12 volt coil hooked up to the system, or the last owner or whoever last worked on this truck did. So we switched that out with a 6 volt.
So my guess is whoever had this truck last didn't realize this was a 6 volt system, and they put a 12 volt coil on there and probably had a 12 volt battery in there, and I'm guessing they probably tried to start it that way and just fried the points. As you can see, they're pretty bad, so I'm guessing they just fried it and said screw it, this truck isn't working, and just parked it. So
Yeah. Well, sounds like it stopped raining. So
well, actually, let's show you the inside of this cab real quick because we have yet to do that. So as you can see, it's pretty crusty in here, but for the most part, I mean, it's pretty bare bones.
I think it was a work truck, but like you said, spare bones. But the rust in here is not bad. Really, the worst thing in here is the seat, and that's really good, considering how old this thing is. But yeah, I mean, it's a little rusty, but I think they'll clean right up.
We actually got a new speaker right here. I have that sitting inside the house, so we're gonna replace that. Unfortunately, all the windows, so all but the actual back windows are cracked. The back windows are actually in really good shape. So, yeah, that's inside. There's like one little spot on the passenger side that's got like a, I don't know if you can see it, but there's a little rust hole. But other than that, that's like really the only rust damage in this vehicle. So,
Don't know what this is for.
let me see. Alright, well, it stopped raining, so we'll get back to it.
go again.
Well, I want to let it cool for a second.
All right.
It could be the timing still.
Yeah, you heard that, right? Like it's firing off.
It's popping, yeah.
Yeah. I just hope it doesn't pop too much and explode this in my hand.
Do something else.
Like what?
Literally anything else that doesn't melt and have gas in it.
Fire.
Is it out? We're good?
Just 1 sec. Yeah, you're good. Yeah, it could be timing now.
Huh?
Could be timing.
Yeah, let's adjust it a teeny bit.
Noises now.
Yeah.
Did you stop that?
Oh, I did when we were changing the stuff.
Yeah, it started starting to make a weird noise.
Oh, shit! That came out of exhaust.
Yeah, it's because it's still on where I just adjusted that. That might be our spot, dude. Let's try that.
Dude, it was like a huge fireball right out of the
I saw
exhaust.
Oh. Yeah, you smell that?
Ready? Yeah.
Gas?
God, dude, I'm so happy that it hit me in the face.
Yeah, me too. Are you ready?
Yeah. That's exhaust. The fuck? Did you hear that?
Yeah, dude, that exhaust is freaking me out. You good?
Yeah.
Alright, so we just pulled the oil pan off the Dodge. And I don't see metal flakes, which is good. It's not glittery or sparkling. But look at how gloopy that is. That is disgusting. I'm guessing the oil just sat for so long and just started breaking down and just turned into sludge. So, I mean, it might still
It looks like mud.
Yeah, it's basically the consistency of like a pudding, basically. That's disgusting. God, now I have to clean this all out. Alright, well.
Just get a light underneath and look at the crankshaft.
Yeah, I want to do that, but grab that. Oh, shoot. If you go in my garage, there's a bucket, the one that Mary bought us.
Okay.
So you want to go grab that. So the oil pan is off, and we just showed you it's all sludge. The pickup, we'll have to clean that off a little bit. It's kind of clogged right now, but crankshaft looks good. Doesn't look like anything broken to pieces after our little explosion.
A little crusty.
Yeah, but if we get some new oil in there, it'll kind of help clean that up. But yeah, main thing I was worried about was blowing a piston with that explosion we had. It's like a huge backfire, but I don't see, I mean, there's obvious wear on the camshaft, like very obvious wear, but it's not terrible. Nothing major, so it's an old engine, so it's expected. So we'll clean this up, and then I just got oil all over my phone. We'll clean this up and then put it back together, and then hopefully we'll see if it works. So
All right.
let me put this on. Okay, you ready?
Yeah.
got to be the timing.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, see it moved again. Put that on. Put like a bunch of gas in it. I don't understand. Yeah, there's just oil pouring out of there.
Yeah, it's like a steady stream.
Let's do that. Tighten it all the way up.
So the battery's going dead too.
Yeah, that'll be part of the issue. Let's try that. Sounds like it wants to go. It's getting closer. It's trying. Just need a lot more gas, I think. Without flooding it. Fuel in. Almost starting to go right there. So we're gonna get this going. The battery's probably almost dead. Alright, so the oil pressure line was leaking right here. As you can see, there's oil absolutely everywhere. I was hoping I could get by just by tightening it. But apparently there's a crack in it, which is why I was leaking. And when I tightened it, it just completely broke off. So I bought some new oil pressure line. So hopefully I have everything I can to replace it. I'll probably just start from here and go to the gauge. Hopefully that works. Probably won't. And then I'll probably end up going to Napa to get a new fitting for the carb to go right there. I think it'll start. The problem is I can't keep feeding it fuel when I'm in the cab starting it, obviously. So sounds like it wants to go, but we'll see. So let me replace this and then we'll see where we're at. Alright, so gauge cluster. It's pretty dirty. This is the oil pressure right here. So I already unscrewed the screws right here and here. So I'm just gonna see if I can pop that off. I don't think the oil pressure is gonna work even after I do this because it's not wired up. I mean, it might be, but I still don't think it's gonna work. We'll probably replace the wires or something. But at least it won't leak oil. And maybe we can clean up this glass too while we're at it. Disconnect something. I gotta disconnect a bunch of these wires, but I can't really get up there without taking the bolts off. Oh man, under these twisty ties. Hopefully I can make that work. Alright, so I just test fit the compression fitting for the line going to the engine block. I don't know if it's going to work, so I might have to go to Napa and replace that anyway. Well, let's see if I can get this off. Oh, my leak everywhere. Maybe. No, I can't use that. Alright, let's see if the fittings I have is going to fit this. I doubt it. Come on. It fits, but it's a different thread pitch. So, probably gonna have to go to Napa. Get a new one anyway. Alright, well, oil pressure I think is probably good. The gauge doesn't work because we don't have it hooked up to the voltage regulator, but I sprayed some glass cleaner on the cluster and it actually cleaned up really nice. It's kind of foggy after a second, but the same with the speedometer. Oh, by the way, the odometer reads 45,041.8. I'm sure that's only 45,000 miles. So that looks good. So. Yes, it runs. Give it a lot more gas. Maybe we can make it run a little bit longer. Almost there, baby. Come on. Just kicked over the gas jug. It ran. Come on. Oh, almost there. the truck actually started. It ran for about 4 seconds. Unfortunately, I had the GoPro inside the house uploading all the footage from earlier today. And then my dad decided to come over. He helped me out. He poured gas on the car while I ran the starter, and it started right up. It ran for about 4 seconds, and then it died. The battery can't maintain a charge when it's not hooked up to the generator, and so it only ran for about 4 seconds, but it absolutely ran. Unfortunately, I didn't catch it on camera. I don't know what the issue is right now. It doesn't seem like it's wanting to get spark, so who knows what the issue is at this point. But winter is coming soon. Today is Thursday, and it actually snowed on Tuesday. Luckily, it's been warm enough to where the snow melted, but it's not going to be for long before the snow stays for winter. So there's a couple more things we want to do to this truck before the official snowfall. So we'll have at least one more episode for winter, and once winter rolls around, we can't really move this truck right now, and we don't have anywhere to put it. It's inside, so we probably won't work on it during the winter. We're just covered up. But next episode, we'll probably let you know what our plan is with this truck. We do have a plan. It's kind of an ambitious plan, and we still have a few things to work out to make sure our plan is going to work, but we do have a plan, and we'll probably let you know what that is next episode. I did order, we are going to convert this to 12 volt. I think it'll start no problem if we convert it to 12 volt. All we have to do, I already swapped out the condenser and the distributor, so all we need is a 12 volt coil and a alternator. The problem with 6 volt is it works with, like, 6 volt works just fine when they work. The problem is, without the generator hooked up, the battery drains so quickly it cannot maintain enough voltage to keep the truck running or even get it to start. And 6 volt typically turns over slower than 12 volt as it is. So when there's a very low voltage coming from the battery, it's kind of a pain in the butt to get it started. So I think converting it to 12 volt will make it start, it'll crank a whole lot faster, and I think it'll start a whole lot easier converting it to 12 volt. So I already ordered a coil and a alternator, so once that comes, we'll hook that up and we'll show you guys, and hopefully it'll be running. But another thing to show you is we named the truck. So the guy we bought it from a guy named Ned, and Ned likes to carve the name in the side of the truck right there. I'm gonna blur his last name so you can't see it, but anyway, with his first name being carved inside of the truck, we thought it'd be appropriate to name the truck Ned. So this truck is gonna be named Ned. So that's it for this episode. If you want to see more, then please subscribe, because there will definitely be more episodes with this truck, and we could definitely use a lot more likes, and even share the video if you want. We'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching.